Welcome to the Daily Jump. And today, our special guest is Dasha. She is the co-owner of a small business in Perth, Ontario. Her business is called Artizen Kombucha, and she's had this business for the last 4 years. Her business has been greatly impacted by the current situation with COVID-19, and she's been very creative in retooling it. So, Dasha, I just want to welcome you today to the Daily Jump. I'm so delighted that you were able to join us. Oh, and I forgot to say that you're the mother of 3 amazing, beautiful young children who I had the opportunity to meet just before we started recording.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
So, Dasha, I just wondered if you could start with, talking a little bit about what the situation is in your town, in your family, and with your business.
Yeah, so we live in Perth, Ontario, which is a rural town. It's about an hour away from Ottawa. We work and we live in Perth, and our main, so we are a beverage manufacturer, a small producer, and we deliver mainly to Ottawa. So the situation in Perth is very interesting how everything has changed. Because we are rural, we do kind of feel like we're more away from everything that happens in Ottawa or elsewhere. So for the first couple of days, I think people were still very relaxed. There was a lot more people on the streets. However, in the last, I want to say 5-6 days or so, although days are all starting to merge all together. So when I say 5-6 days, don't hold me accountable to it, because it's like, is it Monday today? Is it Sunday? Like, I have no idea anymore. But yeah, definitely like empty streets and very few people on the streets, and people are becoming very, very selective about where they go and what they do. And so we, our shop is part of the Heritage Downtown in Perth. So we have the frontage where people can come in and buy our product, but then we also have our manufacturing in the back. So most stores are definitely completely closed. We are considered an essential food business because we supply grocery stores and we supply people. So we are allowed to continue to operate, but it's been very tricky managing the closure of most of our sort of wholesale customers in Ottawa, and then our recent with like the sort of the fear and the growing concerns are starting to overtake even our staff. So our staff are healthy and wonderful, but like even today I heard from Sebastian from production how one of our staff is starting to be a little bit more, just the proper word is freaking out, and it's like, oh, come on, everybody, we don't need to freak out that much. We have to be careful. We have to follow all the safety precautions, but we don't need to be that fearful.
Yes, there's an importance of our inner wellness in all of this.
Yeah, so, and for us, what happened, so because our main customer is restaurants, coffee shops, grocery stores. So overnight in Ottawa, all the restaurants, coffee shops closed their doors. Or became very fearful about ordering any more extra products because the future is so uncertain and unknown. So basically overnight, we lost, so as most small businesses, we rely on a weekly cash flow. And like most small businesses, January, February, March is our toughest, we call it the famine months, because yes, even though we have our boost in December, but that December boost from holiday sales, that actually needs to keep us alive for 3 months until we hit February, March, April. So April, May is when we're like, okay, people are starting to come back to Perth, tourists are starting to come in, there's a lot more activity in stores in Ottawa, and then we're kind of back to normal. So all of a sudden, with the very little cash flow that we currently have, it went to pretty much zero. And that was, the up and downs of an entrepreneur. So one day you're having a full meltdown thinking, that's it, I've lost everything I've ever owned, and tomorrow I'm probably gonna have to line up at the food bank with my kids. And then the next day you have this idea of like, oh, wait a second, what if everybody's at home right now, people still love us, people still love our product, well, why don't I just start more actively delivering to people's houses? And so we were very engaging on social media. We kept our customers like daily, they knew what's going on. So when things were really bad, we would tell them it's really bad, need your help, place an order, help us out. And people have been extremely generous with their orders, which is incredible. But again, with small businesses, you can't just have like one good week of orders, because then the next week comes and then you still have your payroll, bills, the rest of the stuff, right? So every week we're back to square zero with like, okay, we now need you to order again. But now we want to be mindful that there's other small businesses in Perth that don't even deliver to Ottawa, and they 100% rely on foot traffic and 100% rely on tourists to come in. So no food traffic, no tourists. So I reached out to a couple of them. So Fieldhouse, she's a young woman that owns a beautiful little coffee shop, and she makes these beautiful handcrafted pastries. And so I said, do you want to do this together? Yes, we are extremely, like, our whole mission in life is health and wellness. But right now we're going to just drop this, and the mission is just to save local businesses. So your cookies and your croissants, our kombucha, let's just put it all together. Let's offer it to people and put out a call to support young local women entrepreneurs in rural Perth, Ontario.
So tell me a little bit about that business. I'm really curious to hear about it.
The Bubbles and Bites?
Yes.
Yeah, I actually, hold on, let me show you something. Yeah, it's basically, we thought, because Bubbles and Bites, so that's our little cute boxes. And so we give people a choice of handcrafted pastries. So everything's baked at 5 a.m. Croissants, cookies, cruffins, fruit pies, everything's baked fresh. And then the same day we deliver. So we come to the people, place their order online, and then we bring a little beautiful bag with kombucha and pastries that they chose. And we also have little notes that we write for people, just thanking them, or including more information about us so that they understand who they're supporting and why. So it's been really beautiful, and it's been so great. Like, honestly, I did the deliveries last week, and it's been so great. I'm delivering, I'm dropping things off, and people are waving in the windows, and kids are just so happy. And it's like, oh, you feel like a little Santa Claus driving around with all these pastries and kombucha. And kombucha makes people feel stronger and healthier because of the gut support.
Yeah.
And the pastries are just a fun addition, because right now everybody needs comfort food, and everybody needs a little bit of that. But it's made, so it's not made in a mass factory. It's made by a young local woman that does it all by hand. So you can feel that warmth in her pastries.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the combination.
Yeah, bites are the food, and bubbles are the kombucha. So it's been super receptive, and I'm actually even curious right now, would this concept work past, let's say isolation's over, we're all back to normal? Would it continue to work? Would people still want to order that much to their house? Or would people just kind of prefer to go, back to Perth and support us? I'm not sure at this point, but it's been, we've been able to keep our 2 staff. We haven't had to lay off anybody.
Wow.
Yeah, so, and it was a combination of working really hard. Like, I didn't take a single day to not do something to engage, to promote, to bring people on board. And I think that's why it works so well, because I knew I have such a short window of time to grasp people's attention. So I just kind of, every day there was like, as soon as kids are in bed, I'd be working until 1 or 2 a.m. just putting things together and putting that concept.
And I love, it seems to me what you're delivering and giving to people is more than just food and something to drink.
Yes, absolutely. It's that connections. It's that camaraderie. It's just like, it's building that community and checking in with each other and making sure everybody's okay. So that's, and we actually gave away a free box this week as well to support. So people would just throw in comments about who they thought would be the person to do that for, and then we just randomly chose one and delivering it tomorrow. So we're trying to give back as much as we can. Again, we are a small business that's currently trying to survive in a very extreme situation. So we can't do too much giving, but we're trying as much as we can. We give as much of our love as we can through social media, and notes, and through connecting with people. That we give like 100% nonstop.
Yeah. Well, it seems to me what you're producing would make a really good care package for a neighbor too.
Yes, we've actually had a lot of people order for their neighbors. Like, cheer up, neighbor, we're gonna get through this.
Yeah.
Lots of people for their parents. Lots of people are ordering for, yeah, because all of a sudden families got separated. Even my parents are in Ottawa right now. We haven't seen them for over 2 or 3 weeks, just precautionary measures. And my sister ordered one of those boxes just to be sent to my parents' house, just for that little, warmth of feeling and connection. Yeah, because it's not something, you're not like getting a grocery basket full of, it's not groceries. It's like a present and a gift and a thank you, and I'm thinking about you kind of gift. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's a lot of wins.
The other thing I want to connect to is that I interviewed an Ayurvedic doctor in India last week. And one of the things I was asking her about her tips for people keeping their immunity strong. And she
Mhm.
said, number one was digestive health and to have strong digestive fire.
Mhm.
So your product actually
Mhm.
addresses that directly.
Absolutely. I can even tell you the most ordered kombucha, because we have 6 flavors, has been turmeric zinger, which is turmeric, ginger, and organic carrot. So it really like adds lots of orange fire, antioxidants, like the good stuff to your
Yeah.
system.
Yeah. So, what you're giving people is a gift that goes so much beyond just food on so many levels.
Yes,
So,
even our logo, like our logo is an ancient Slavic symbol of protection. So I'm Russian, and I learned to make kombucha with my grandmother in the Soviet Union. And it was, for Russian people, kombucha has always been about health and medicine first, of course, as a recreational drink. And so I just want to reflect that in our company as well, like bring in one of those like symbols that just kind of awaken your um, connection to that ancestral wisdom that you may not even be aware of, but it's something just triggers and you feel something good about it.
yeah. Listen, sweetheart, I just want to say I admire so much your approach to this. I
Mhm.
can see how much joy you're getting from your new direction, and what this business is doing for your family, for you, and for your community. So, I want to thank you for talking for us today. Are there any parting words that you would like to leave us with?
Um, I think the parting words for me, just the even encouragement for me, is I love when people are connecting and posting and communicating. I that really inspires me, and I think connecting with other people right now and communicating and sharing that has been keeping us going, and it's been the most wonderful part of this whole experience, really.
Yeah. Yeah, and the service that you're offering is helping to do exactly that in a very tangible way, other than just this kind of virtual way. So I applaud you for that.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for being with us today on the Daily Jump.
Yay.